cooking up some ground beef for breakfast.
Guys, I feel like such an idiot. I'm not feeling very well today. I slept horrible last night. Horrible. I went to sleep with a headache, this same headache back here, but I was kind of feeling it in my temples too. I still am. I had a headache all night long, and I was trying everything I could to get rid of it. I drank a ton before I went to bed. So I didn't do very well. I tried to go to bed earlier. I think it was like midnight when I went to bed. That's horrible. I stopped driving Uber at like 10 so I could go to bed early, but then just writing in my journal, getting ready for bed, finishing up some YouTube videos, like not smart. But anyways, I don't even know how it happened. It was like all of a sudden 11:30, then it was like midnight. So didn't go to bed early. I did sleep in though till like I think it was 9:45 when I woke up, but I still had a headache and I am so tired of the headache. So I was kind of frustrated because I was thinking, I thought I was doing this, like I was only eating meat, mostly. I told you I had some stuff at school with my kids, and the day before was my daughter's field trip, so I had stuff, like I had carbs both days. If it's true that the carbs are what's causing the migraines, like the glucose spike and all the stuff I told you about earlier, I should know better, which is why I'm saying I feel stupid. So yesterday I mostly ate this, and then I had a steak last night with some butter. I'm not sure on the butter yet. I'm still figuring that out, but for a second, let's just look at this beef jerky. So it's backward, but it says 0 sugar on the front. It's Tillamook. I love Tillamook as a company, and like their quality is great. But let's just look at the ingredients. I did when I was at Costco, but I didn't look super closely. Let's see. Water, this is in the soy sauce, water, soybeans, rice, salt. Why did I not notice the rice before? Rice is a carb. Beef broth is tricky. Whenever they say something like that on a label, you don't actually know what's in it. So beef broth, and less than 2% of the following. So, okay, we're already like worried, flagging the soybeans and rice, the beef broth, and then in addition to that, less than 2% of the following. Flavorings could be anything: vinegar, cultured celery powder, which is cultured celery powder, sea salt, and then granulated sugar and salt.
Granulated
so it looks like
garlic,
it's got a lot of
not
salt
sugar.
in there. That's in there like 3 times. It's in the soy sauce, it's in the flavorings, it's probably in the broth too, even though it doesn't say it. Sorry, not the flavorings, it's in the celery powder, it's in like just salt at the end. It says no MSG added, but if you look at it really closely, it has a little like thing. It's not an asterisk. What's the other one called? It's like a little. I have heard that there's naturally occurring MSG in celery powder. I think that's what it is. So guys, no wonder I have a headache today. No wonder I slept horrible last night. I usually sleep better than that. I woke up all night long. So many times I was thinking, am I even getting any sleep tonight? And every time I woke up, I was too tired to drink more water. Sometimes that will help a headache if I could just get up and have like a big drink and go back to bed. I was too tired to, so I would just like try to go back to sleep, and couldn't. Like I would fall back to sleep and I'd wake up again. I could not get a good sleep. So I think I'm realizing why. This is why I'm vlogging. I want you guys to see my journey, like my actual journey. And I was really naive and stupid, I think, to think that I could count this as like lionvore diet. I'm still saying lionvore because I don't know if I need to go full lion, like ruminant beef, salt and water. I did that for a week. It was awesome. I do think I could do that, but the whole time I kept feeling like my body needed more things. And like I already told you this, I don't have an autoimmune. I don't have any like known food allergies or food sensitivities other than lactose and possibly grain, gluten, but I think it's the carbs, to be honest. I think it's the carbs. Anyway, because of that, I thought I'm sure I can allow myself more than that. We're trying to do other kinds of meat as well, which is kind of carnivore, but like strict carnivore, because a lot of carnivore does like dairy and cheese and eggs and stuff, and I'm not sure about that. Maybe eggs, but then I actually was hearing that some people were struggling with eggs, so I don't know. I guess the conclusion I'm coming to is I wanted this to be simple. I still want it to be simple. I wanted to give myself a little bit more wiggle room than just beef and salt and water, but I keep thinking I might need to go back to that because this is getting more complicated. And why go through all of this if it's not actually helping? Like I still have a headache, so what I was doing the last 2 days wasn't working. It wasn't enough. I did have carbs though, so how much can I say was like all the stuff that's in the jerky? I'm just saying I don't trust the jerky, because I did have the stuff I mentioned at lunch. Okay, all of this to say today is going to be my first day, I think, going only like basically beef and butter, steak and butter. I had steak and butter last night, so from last night to tonight I want to make sure I only have like beef and butter. Maybe other days I'll try like fish and shrimp and other stuff. But for now, let's just try beef and butter. If I'm not doing well, I'll take out the butter and just do beef. Like that seems pretty simple to me. So I had my steak last night. This morning I cooked up some hamburger meat in butter. It was so good. Like when I did the Lion diet before, it was, no butter or anything like that. It was just meat. And so I had to cook everything in salt or like sometimes in beef fat, which was okay. There's not nearly as much flavor. Okay, let's just be honest. Everybody loves butter. So I cooked the butter till it was really, really brown, like almost too dark to kind of caramelize it. And then I added the ground beef and then I salted it and it was like heaven. It was so good. So that was my breakfast. I know, such a weird breakfast. If you're new to this whole idea of like protein-based, meat-based diet, you're probably like, that is not a breakfast food, but it was a great breakfast. It was delicious. And I also ate some plain butter. I'm still trying that out to see if I get used to it. I actually do kind of enjoy it a little bit. So I will keep you guys posted on that as well. But yes, major headache last night, headache this morning. I still feel kind of like that dull ache and it just does not feel good. And I didn't quite hit my goals for Uber this week, so I'm going to drive as much as possible and make as much as possible today. So it's going to be a really long day. So that's why I was like kind of bummed. Like it'd be easier to just go to Costco and buy more beef jerky, but because of all the stuff that's added to it that I don't trust, one thing I might do, well, yeah, so I'm not going to do that. One thing I might do though is there's a place, I can't remember now where it is. I keep driving by it where they make jerky for you. Like you bring in your meat and they'll make it for you. Obviously I can make it myself in my oven, but what I was thinking is in a pinch, I could call them or stop by and see if they have any like already made beef jerky that, well, beef or bison or whatever that only has like salt in it. Like it's kind of unlikely, but it's possible that because that's what they do. Maybe they have stuff like that already on hand. So that's something I might try, is just drop in there and say like, hey, do you happen to have any beef jerky? Oh, I think it's called Myers. I'm so glad I remembered the name. Now I can call them, ask if they have any, and if not, ask how much it costs. Like, hey, I bring in my meat, can you salt it and like make it into beef jerky? And if it's not that expensive, because the nice thing about that, let me just tell you really quick, I can make my own beef jerky. I can keep it in like Ziploc bags. It'll probably like dry out more and get harder, or I might have to like refrigerate it or something, but they vacuum seal it. So not only do they process it for me and make the jerky, but they also like vacuum seal it, which would be so nice because then it's like shelf stable. So then I can have like a bunch of it that I can just grab and go. Like the whole point of this before, why I failed after my week, not failed, but why I couldn't keep going is because like we talked about the expense, but then also it's so hard to fit into my lifestyle, like feeding kids normal meals and then also having to feed myself this way, but then also having to leave the house and drive like all day long every day. It's like, you can't just cook a steak in the car. Hello, you can't just fry up a hamburger patty while you're like several cities away from your home. And you can go to restaurants. Like I wouldn't want to do that at the beginning of this. I want to kind of like monitor, gauge, see how I'm doing first. You can go to a restaurant, you can request that they cook it in beef fat. You can ask that they don't add any like seasonings or anything to it. But let's be honest, a lot of restaurants don't even have pure hamburger. They put stuff in their patties, to save them money and whatever else. And that's just kind of gross. Who knows what's in there? And so I don't want to do that. If I knew for sure it was 100% beef patty, and if they promised me that they would not cook it in any like seed oils or anything like that, I might do it, but I'm still like just nervous. So like not this early in the diet. I would want to do that maybe later. That is why I talked about Buffalo Wild Wings though, because they will make plain original wings that are cooked in beef fat. So it's not beef, it's chicken, but again, it's meat and it's cooked in beef fat. So that's like close enough. That's why I'm saying Lion Boar, because I'm kind of like combining the two to see if I can find something that works for me. This is all just like tailored to me. So I will keep you guys posted. Yeah, again, if you're interested, go research this, look into it for yourself. Yeah, but don't, just take my word for it, because I am not a doctor or anything like that. But I do think it might be helpful if I share my experience with you. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, enough gabbing. I am going to go drive Uber, and hopefully I'll check in later and let you know how I'm feeling, how things are going, and if this headache goes away. That would be really nice.
Getting a car wash. I wanted to check out the meat at Fideli's because they have lamb and beef. And I asked them if they cook it in anything, and they said no, and you can just order a side of that thing. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, I already accepted an Uber order, so this has to be super fast, but I will try to keep you guys updated. I just bought two, I think you say it Fideli's. It's a street Greek place here in Lehi. I just bought 2 sides of beef and lamb. They told me that they're not cooked with any oils other than what's in the meat. Hopefully that's true. But But again, like I said, I don't think I'm sensitive to all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna try it really quick just so that I can let you guys know how it tastes. Whoa, sorry, that's kind of loud. This is what it looks like. Beef and lamb is just kind of mixed together. They said you can't really get it separately like beef or lamb, but it's perfect because they're both ruminant, both things that I can have. This might actually be too hot to try on camera. Oh, there we go. There's a tiny little piece, so I can just try that. It smells amazing. Oh my gosh, that is so tender and so good. You guys, I think I might have found something I can eat while I drive. And it is delicious. Okay, you guys, now that I've had a taste of it, like another taste, you know, I can tell, like, I don't know a lot about Greek food, but I can tell this is more than just meat and salt. I think the kids that work here don't know much about it, and that's okay. I think it's still probably fine. It's mainly meat. It tastes like it's actually like beef and lamb, probably ground up together like a sausage with like probably some vegetables of some sort, spices. Like, it's got all kinds of stuff in it. So a little sad about that. I thought it was like sliced meat, but now I can tell it's like ground meat that's like put together into this. Like I said, I don't know about Greek food. I don't know what it's called, but like this, it's kind of like a cylinder shape of meat that they then like slice off for each person. They cook it on that like spinning thing. What's it called? A spitz, I think. Anyway, I will do some more research on Greek food and try to find out. Maybe see if they have a website or if there's someone I can call, because I was so excited thinking that this was just meat that I could just eat, but it's not. So, oh well, it tastes good. It is mostly protein. So again, I'm not doing strict lion right now. I'm doing lionivore, which is a combination of like lion and carnivore. So what I will do is, although this I can tell has a little bit of herbivore in it, I'm sure that there's some like herbs and spices and whatever in there, but whatever. I'll try it for now and see. So I may not be able to count today either. We'll see. I'm trying to get rid of this headache. It's mostly gone. I feel way better than earlier. But I do want to know what's in this meat and if it's something I can continue to have. I'm on my way to Five Guys to pick up an order for a customer here in Lehigh. And I will just, yeah, keep you guys posted. You know that saying, if it looks like a chicken and it acts like a chicken, it is a chicken? Well, we're just going to go with it. If it looks like meat, and it tastes like meat, it's meat. We're just gonna say this is mostly meat. I'm getting so full, you guys. Just trying it out. I should have just probably gotten one since I didn't know what was in it yet. So hopefully I'm good that way. But yeah, this is my second one. That's how much I have left, and I'm getting so full. It's really good though. I am enjoying it. I decided I'm gonna do some research and see if I can find out what's typically in like gyro meat, Greek. Is that how you say it, gyro? And yeah, but we'll see if I can finish this. And one more thing, this applies to whatever you're eating. Chew your food thoroughly. Chew it completely. You start your digestion in your mouth, so don't chomp down and gulp down your food in like these huge bites. Because regardless of what or how you're eating, it's just not healthy for you, and you're not gonna get as much out of it. So I just thought of that as I was like chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing this meat. It's delicious, but I was noticing it was too easy to just like chomp and swallow, and that's just not going to give me the nutrients that are inside. So chew it, digest it before you swallow it.
These girls walking into Costco had the most gorgeous long hair. I just had to take a picture. How nice. These guys have an outdoor pool that's still open in Utah in November. It's freezing. It's got to be heated.
Okay, I just pulled over for a second to give myself a chance to catch my breath. So I'm out driving Uber Eats, of course, and I'm delivering an order, and I was at a red light, and I was listening to a video on YouTube, but I had my phone like on, I have like a holder on my dashboard, so I'm like not holding it or anything, because I've noticed that drivers are like super, like they'll get super mad at you if you're at a red light and you're distracted by your phone, and like, you know, you get a text or something and then the light turns green and you don't go. Like, I've been noticing that lately, but like I was not touching my phone or anything, and I was mostly listening to it. I watched the light turn green. Okay. So I have had times when I missed a light before. This was not one of those times. I watched the light turn green, and before I even had a chance to switch from the brake to the gas, the truck behind me laid on his horn, like, go. Like, he was so frustrated with me. And so I had started to go at that, like, by the time that registered. And so I just like slowed down. I shouldn't have done that in the intersection to kind of like almost a stop, to be like, you can't make me go just because you're going to be mean and be a jerk about it. And then I like was going to continue going, and he sped past me in the in the intersection. Like, he couldn't, there wasn't a lane to pass me. He just like forced himself through the intersection, cut in front of me. He was a truck, a big long truck, but he was pulling a trailer full of horses, you guys, horses. Now, when somebody does something that bad and illegal and dangerous, I usually honk at them, just because I'm not just going to let that go, especially if somebody could get hurt. It endangered me, all of the cars around us, himself, and his horses. You guys, his horses. So I honked at him for a very, very long time. I've never done that before. I usually just like beep, like that was not nice. And this time I just wouldn't let go of my horn. I just kept honking, like, or not repeatedly, like I just laid on the horn and held it for a really long time. And he was trying to lose me and just kept speeding ahead of me. And I try really hard to not give into like any feelings of road rage, because they're super dangerous. So like I would never like abandon, you know, where I'm going and like follow this person or anything like that. I know people do that. I'm not that person. I don't do crazy things, but I will honk. And I was super mad at him. And so as I like let go of my horn, I was like, that's when I realized he had horses. And I was like, oh my gosh, the poor horses are probably scared. And then I was like, the horses could have gotten hurt or died or something. And then I just thought, like, those poor horses, I actually prayed for them, because if he treats human beings like he treated me, how do you think he treats his horses? That was really sad to me. So, man in a truck pulling horses in your trailer, be nicer to single moms on the road and be nicer to your animals, because I can already tell that you are not a nice person. So, sending prayers and good vibes and good feelings and forgiveness your way, and hoping that you will not cause an accident and cause somebody to die or be hurt, including yourself, your horses, or them. So I just made some more beef jerky, and I think it turned out better this time. I think I'm losing my voice, but just beef and salt, folks. Beef and salt. Whoop, whoop.